Hey everyone, and welcome back to Healthy Days. My name is Melissa, and I create videos helping people out along their weight loss journey. I'm in the middle of a 90-day repairing my gut health to send my weight loss soaring. And let me tell you, we are 1 month in, so this is the 4-week check-in, and I am having a blast with it. I am experiencing so many things, and I hope you're experiencing this as well if you're following along step by step. My blood sugar levels have been regulated. So I have none of the hunger spikes or dips. I'm never feeling deprived or hungry. That alone, whenever you are trying to figure out weight loss, can be one of the hardest parts. My digestion is completely regulated, again, into my 40s. And I think women, especially women, can relate to this. That can be very frustrating as we're aging to have all of that kind of seem disrupted. So that's been completely regulated. If you're wanting to follow along with this, it's not too late to get on board. I just wanted to go over what you can expect to experience if you follow along with this 90-day gut health challenge. I tell you and I teach you exact practical strategies that you're going to use that are going to get you the long-term lasting weight loss. And it's been proven. I've been researching weight loss for like the past 6 years, but repairing my gut health has been the number one way where I have seen it be so consistent, so not depriving, and not having to eat the same foods over and over again, but being very intentional about the foods I'm putting into my body. I also will teach you these step-by-step, day-by-day, meal prep that you can do. You just follow along with what I'm doing on my channel, and you can't go wrong with it. It's going to work out for you so perfectly. I also just share along the way what makes this plan better than others. And the only other one that I would say comes close is the Mediterranean diet. The only thing that the Mediterranean diet, in my opinion, is missing is when you're focusing on gut health, you're focusing on those 30 plants a week and the fermented foods. With the Mediterranean diet, like I said, it comes close. So if you're following that, you're probably experiencing a lot of what I talk about. But just by incorporating and being intentional to get the 30 diverse plants in a week, that's made all the difference with repairing my gut health for weight loss. And also adding in the fermented foods. There's not too many diets that focus on that. And fixing your gut health isn't even necessarily a diet, but the facts are the facts. If your gut health is out of whack, you aren't going to be experiencing consistent weight loss. Like I've talked about before, you might do a diet or do one of the other fad diets and experience weight loss for a short time. But then it kind of puts you in that boat where you're doing the yo-yo dieting, and repairing your gut health, I just want to tell you from experience, has eliminated all of that. And I know it's going to do it for you too. So yeah, as I'm going along, I also share with you the results that you can expect to see. And that's kind of what I went over at the beginning. You can expect the blood sugar levels to be leveled out. You can expect the bloating, and that the cortisol hormone kind of calms down because you're putting these intentional foods into your body. And I've experienced that so much. And just the digestion. I mean, that alone, getting your digestion figured out by being intentional with the foods is just such a blessing. I think, again, especially into my 40s. So as far as week 4 goes, again, if you're following along, I hope you're loving it. I hope by week 4, you're experiencing what I'm experiencing. The foods and the meal planning and the meal prep, it's just becoming second nature. I don't even really give it a thought. I've learned about all the different plants that are gut healthy, and there's such a variety. I set my goal each week to put the 30 into my body. Sometimes I hit the 30 diverse plants in a matter of a couple days. All that means is I'm getting those different plants into my body, which is supercharging my gut microbiome. Check out the first couple of videos. We're on week 4, but subscribe to my channel and check out the first couple of videos, because that's explaining to you how important having that gut diversity and expanding your gut microbiome is, and what that's doing to send your weight loss just soaring for you. So that's become second nature to me in week 4. So just 1 month in, we're going to do this for 3 months, 12 weeks, a little over 12 weeks. And I'm just so thrilled that already at after the first month, what I'm experiencing, how my body's feeling, the mental clarity. I mean, all the things I've gone over, but it's just continuing on. It'll become your lifestyle. And I just really hope that if you're on the fence or you're looking um, to try something that's not going to create that yo-yo dieting for you, but it's actually going to become a lifestyle, and it's actually going to be practical that you can apply to your life. Follow along with what I'm doing, because I really do think that repairing your gut health is the key to your long-term weight loss. In week 4, what I really focused on is, if you check out my shorts feed and I show you all the different meal prep options that I do, people have been asking a lot about how to incorporate sugar. They're missing that sweetness in their meal planning. So I went over in week 4 and I really incorporated natural honey, maple syrup, vanilla extract, even the coconut oil, cinnamon. All of that is going to add a little bit of sweetness, and it's going to help wean you. If you're kind of a sugar addict, it's going to help wean you off of that sugar, but it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels. So it's not going to give you those hunger spikes. And that's what the addiction to, refined sugar is doing. It's spiking your blood sugar levels. So it's picking you up and it's making you feel great. But man, you really crash and it lets you down. So with some of these other sweeteners that I shared through my meal prepping and that I focused on, none of that happens. But you're able to satisfy your sweet tooth, which I think, especially once a month, is something that I definitely need. And it's fun to know that we don't have to deprive ourselves completely, but we just have to find the healthier, more natural options. And like I always talk about, there's so much information on the internet, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just sharing my journey because this has been sustainable. This is what's worked for me, and I believe wholeheartedly that it'll work for you too. And yeah, the other thing that I really focused on with the meal planning and the meal prepping this week is realizing, while I've been doing the gut health, I realize portion sizes have been able to get so much smaller. So I know a lot of times people, they're volume based eating and they think that it takes so much food to fill them up. But as you reset your gut health and as you start to put these intentional foods into your body, what happens is your stomach's going to shrink naturally because your gut microbiome is flourishing, and all those different hormones that are out of whack with an unhealthy gut microbiome, they're kind of stabilizing. And so we're thinking that we need to have this volume and feed and feed and feed. But really, we're just trying to kind of satisfy the unstabilized hormones. I've talked about them in other videos: the leptin receptor, the ghrelin receptor, saying when we're full, our brain telling us when we're full, our stomach telling us when we're hungry. Those are all just hormonal based. Those don't even have anything to do with the portion size of food. So once you balance out those hormones through these intentional foods, your portion size gets smaller. Now, how that relates to weight loss is, obviously, if we're eating smaller portions of food that are actually nourishing our body, we're going to be consuming less calories. And those calories that we are consuming are healthy, so they're stimulating the fat burning process. So it really does all tie together. Like I said, I just wanted to come on here and do a 4-week check-in and just really hope to motivate and inspire anybody who has been struggling with their weight loss. Please take a moment, if you would, and you're enjoying this content, go ahead and like this video, but also share it. If you know anybody who's entering into menopause, perimenopause, just struggling with their weight loss, this might be the answer. I'm not saying it is for sure, but like I said, I've studied and researched, and everything always leads me back to the science-based research. Again, it's very interesting to hop on board and click on the videos that say, oh, you're gonna lose this amount of weight quickly and you get to eat candy. But we all know that isn't true. I mean, it's definitely not going to be a healthy way to maintain weight loss. But the marketers, of course, don't want you to know that. They want to put on there that, this candy or this food has no sugar. Well, even if it's sugar-free, once you do the science-based research about intentional ingredients going into your body, even the sugar-frees are bad. Now, they're bad because, to give them their sweetness, they've been replaced by some chemical. And those chemicals that the marketers love, because they can put sugar-free, fat-free, low fat, all of that on the box. And people that haven't done their research just think, okay, that must mean that it's healthy, but it really isn't. I go into all the science and all the research of that in other videos, but focusing on the whole foods and the 30 plants a week and just being intentional to get those into my body, that has been the game changer. And like I said, I hope you get on board. I hope you follow along. This is week 4. We're doing 12 weeks. You can pick and choose. I'm doing this October, November, December. It's timeless. You can apply this to any stage of your life. What you're really doing is creating a micro habit in your brain psychologically, and it's really teaching you to be intentional about meal prep, and about food choices, and then listening to your body. I think by week 4, we're definitely able to just settle in, listen to our bodies, go through the motions of what I'm telling you to do, but your body's talking back to you. Hopefully by now, I mean, this is my experience, I'm not as hungry. I'm not having those cravings. It's becoming second nature because of the month previous of micro habit meal prepping to just Sunday night, do that meal prep. And I want all of that for you guys as well. But basically, what it comes down to is I've just researched and applied the practical methods of rebuilding my gut microbiome. And the payoff has been sustainable weight loss. So if that sounds interesting to you and sounds like something that you want to start doing, just start applying everything that I'm doing. I also am going to teach you the exact meal planning and meal prepping, like I talked about, that literally just becomes a micro habit. Meal prepping and meal planning, that's not what makes you lose weight. The intentional ingredients is what's going to make you lose weight, but you have to have that discipline, because if you leave it to chance, you're not going to do it. So hopefully by week 4, we're all meal planning and meal prepping. It's become second nature. I put on a good podcast, and I do it all on Sunday nights. I set out my Tupperware. I have my intentional ingredients, my list of 30 plants that I want to put into my body. And it's just prioritizing my weight loss. I think that's what it really comes down to. We get so caught up in the busyness of life, and we say, we're going to put it off. We're going to do it later. And I just really want to inspire and encourage you. Don't put it off anymore. Prioritize yourself, prioritize your weight loss. You deserve to have energy. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to look how you want to look in your clothes. And I truly believe that repairing your gut health can offer you all of those things. I think gut health can sound like a buzzword, and it makes people sound very granola. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but for me, it's been such a good thing, because focusing and researching on my gut health has made it so that I have the mental clarity. I'm not yo-yo dieting. I'm not feeling deprived, because if you check out my other videos, you know that meal prepping, meal planning, focusing on gut health, that's 90% of the time, 5 days a week. I give myself 2 cheat days a week. So you don't have to worry about, oh, what am I going to do for the birthday party? What am I going to do at the holidays? Enjoy at the holidays. If you've built up this gut microbiome and given it all of this diversity and got it operating, at its fullest optimization, a couple days around the holidays, or even 1 or 2 days during the week of enjoying, the pasta, the cakes, the unhealthier foods, that's not going to even touch what you've built up and been intentional to do 90% of the time. And I know, again, maybe that can seem intimidating, but it really comes down to, do you want to lose the weight or do you not? I mean, because we can't keep clicking around on all these videos thinking what's going to help us, and then find out what to do and say, oh, that isn't sustainable, because practically it is. Of course, there's always going to be some sort of a cost for a reward, but your mindset is what makes you look at it as a cost. I have a healthier mindset now after doing this. I have a mindset of, it's not a cost to give up the unhealthy, processed foods that were draining my energy, producing, so much inflammation in my body and making me feel horrible. That's not a cost. That's not something I'm having to deprive myself of. I get to choose the intentional foods. I get to retain the knowledge of what these healthier foods are doing for my body. And I get to experience how much they're making my weight loss easier, my energy and my mental clarity soar. I get to experience actually feeling healthy. So I think a lot of times, and you've heard me talk about this a lot, it really comes down to a psychological mindset. So whenever we think about dieting or giving something up, or we're thinking that it's negative, but I've just completely, neurologically rewired my brain, but I can't think of anything negative about all the benefits that come from resetting, fixing, healing, resetting your gut health, because it's only led to such a positive experience for me. So I have videos on all of that as well. Again, if you're already on this journey with me and you're just following along, to hear my check-ins, please leave a comment down below. Let me know how it's going for you. I would love to build this community up. I think hearing other people's testimonies and experience of how their weight loss journey is going is so motivating and so inspiring. And I think it's okay to be vulnerable and say, in my 40s, what I was doing before in my 20s and 30s, it's not working. Please, somebody have the answer, help me. And it's okay to feel stuck. For a period of time there, I thought I was being so disciplined with my clean eating, and I thought I was being so disciplined with my exercise routine. So as I was aging and I wasn't getting the same results, I got really discouraged and really frustrated. So that's really what made me go all in and want to do this challenge, and start to incorporate the fermented foods, focusing on the probiotics, focusing on the 30 plants a week, and learning about and researching and just sharing that knowledge with you. That's what's made all of the difference. Being intentional is what makes the difference. Prioritizing yourself is what makes the difference. Like I said, 4 weeks in, if you have made it 4 weeks into this fixing your gut health to send your weight loss soaring challenge, you should be so proud of yourself. Please share with the rest of us what your results have been. It's so motivating, so inspiring. And next week, just continue to follow along, and you're going to see that we're going to actually start to incorporate pastas, the healthy high protein, or the chickpea, or the different healthier pastas that I've researched, and we're going to start incorporating those in, because again, I just don't want anybody to feel deprived, that they aren't going to be able to eat what they want and still have the weight loss results that you're looking for. I love this community. I love the questions that I'm being asked. My favorite question last week was, somebody was asking, if I apply this, will it work if I'm in menopause? And man, I can't believe I didn't even think to mention that, because that's basically the exact recipe of what to apply when you're entering into perimenopause or menopause, because your body is hormonally so out of whack. So I thank you for that question. You know who you are, and I appreciated it so much. So next week will be week 5. We'll do our check-in then. And until then, I'm Melissa with HealthyDaze. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Please share this with friends and family. It helps me build this community, and all I want to do is anybody that's frustrated with their weight loss, I want to help get them on track. And I just know that if we all start chattering about this, the word will spread, and everybody's going to be able to get the weight loss results that they're looking for. All right, well, until next time, guys, I just hope that you are so encouraged. I hope you're enjoying the meal planning and the meal prepping. Remember, be intentional to get those 30 plants in a week. Create that diversity. Your gut microbiome loves all the diversity. Get those polyphenols in. Remember, those are the dark leafy greens or the dark vegetables and fruits that, if you're eating the kiwi, eat it with the skin on. If you're having the eggplant, don't scoop the eggplant out. Bake it right there with the skin on it. All right, guys. Well, I hope that inspires you, and I hope that you are intentional to prioritize your weight loss. Remember, you are so worth it. You deserve it. It doesn't have to be hard. It's actually easy. You probably get sick of hearing me say in my videos, we don't overcomplicate it, because once you learn the tools, once you create the mindset, the micro habits, do the meal planning, are intentional about the foods, it sounds complicated, but it becomes second nature, just like riding a bike. And it's just being intentional about fueling your body. All right, well, that is my 4-week check-in. I so hope that it motivates and inspires you. Stay tuned. Next week, we are going to start incorporate those pastas that everybody seems to be excited about. Just take a moment, hit the like button, and if you know anybody that you would like to share this with, share it with them. That's just such a small way that helps me out more than you realize, because it tells YouTube that you're enjoying the videos, and it sends them out to other people, and it helps me be able to create more content for you guys. So like I said, I appreciate you guys so much. I hope it's motivating and inspiring to you, and I will see you next time. See you next week. Bye.